Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're journeying back in time, over 4,500 years, to the land of the pharaohs. We're going to unravel one of history's most captivating mysteries, the story of how the Egyptian pyramids were built. These magnificent structures weren't just tombs, they were stairways to the stars, monuments of power, and a testament to human ingenuity. So, how did they do it? Let's find out. Our story begins not with the iconic pointed pyramids you're picturing, but with something a bit more modest. Before the pyramids, pharaohs and nobles were buried in mastabas, flat-roofed rectangular structures made of mud brick. They were essentially underground burial chambers with a house-like structure on top. But around 2670 BC, a brilliant mind named Imhotep, the vizier to Pharaoh Djoser, had a revolutionary idea. Imhotep decided to do something unprecedented. Instead of just one mastaba, he stacked 6 of them on top of each other, each one smaller than the one below. The result? The world's first major stone building, the Step Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara. This wasn't just a bigger tomb, it was a conceptual leap. It represented a ladder, a physical connection for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the heavens and join the gods. The Step Pyramid was the prototype, the grand experiment that set the stage for everything that followed. It was built entirely of stone, a much more permanent and divine material than the traditional mud brick, signifying the pharaoh's eternal nature. But the Egyptians were just getting started. The transition from the step design to the smooth, true pyramid wasn't straightforward. The next key figure in our story is Pharaoh Sneferu, who reigned around 2613 BC. He was the greatest pyramid builder of them all, constructing not one, but 3 major pyramids. His first attempt at Maydum started as a step pyramid and was later modified, but it ultimately suffered a partial collapse, leaving behind a strange, tower-like core. It was a valuable lesson in engineering. Undeterred, Sneferu commissioned another at Dashur. This is the famous bent pyramid. As the workers built it, they started at a steep angle of 54 degrees. However, partway through, they likely noticed signs of instability or stress fractures. To prevent another collapse, they abruptly changed the angle to a much gentler 43 degrees for the top half, giving it that distinct, bent look. While it might look like a mistake to us, it was actually a brilliant, on-the-fly engineering solution. It showed the builders were learning, adapting, and perfecting their techniques in real time. Finally, Sneferu got it right. Just a short distance from the bent pyramid, he built his masterpiece, the Red Pyramid. Named for the reddish hue of its limestone core, this was the world's first successful true, smooth-sided pyramid. With its consistent 43-degree angle, it stands as a perfect, majestic monument. Sneferu's relentless trial and error paved the way for the golden age of pyramid building. He had solved the architectural puzzle. And that brings us to the most famous pyramids of all, the Great Pyramids of Giza. Sneferu's son, Khufu, took the lessons learned and scaled them up to a level that still boggles the mind. Around 2580 BC, he commissioned the Great Pyramid, the largest of the 3. It originally stood at a staggering 481 feet tall and was built from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. For over 3,800 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. It's a masterpiece of precision. Its sides are almost perfectly aligned to the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, a feat that would challenge engineers even today. Following Khufu, his son Khafra built the second pyramid at Giza. While it's slightly smaller, it appears taller because it was built on higher ground. And Khafra gave us another iconic monument, the Great Sphinx, which is believed to bear his likeness, standing guard over his pyramid complex. Finally, Khafra's son, Menkaure, built the third and smallest of the Giza pyramids, signaling a gradual shift in resources and religious focus away from massive pyramid construction. So, the billion-dollar question remains. How did they move those massive stones? The answer isn't aliens, it's human ingenuity and a whole lot of manpower. We now believe they quarried most of the limestone blocks nearby. But the granite for the inner chambers came from Aswan, over 500 miles away. These were transported on large wooden barges down the Nile River, during the annual flood season, which brought the water closer to the construction sites. Once at the site, getting the blocks up the pyramid was the main challenge. The most widely accepted theory involves a system of ramps. Egyptologists debate the exact configuration. Was it a long, straight ramp, a spiral ramp that corkscrewed around the pyramid, or an internal ramp within the pyramid's core? Recent studies using modern scanning technology have even suggested the presence of internal voids that could support the internal ramp theory. Whatever the design, they would have used wooden sledges, which they lubricated with water to reduce friction, to haul the stones up the ramps. It was a monumental task, requiring immense organization and a skilled workforce. And who were these workers? Forget the Hollywood image of slaves being whipped. Archaeological evidence, including the discovery of a workers' village near the pyramids, shows they were skilled Egyptian laborers. They were well-fed, received medical care, and were organized into teams. They worked on the pyramids during the months when the Nile's flood made farming impossible. Building a pyramid was a national project, a form of religious devotion and civil service. It was an honor to help build the pharaoh's eternal home. The age of massive pyramid building lasted for a few centuries, eventually fading out as religious beliefs evolved, and pharaohs began favoring less conspicuous tombs, like those hidden in the Valley of the Kings. But the legacy of these structures is eternal. They are not just piles of stone. They are the culmination of generations of innovation, planning, and immense human effort. From Imhotep's first stack of stones to Khufu's perfect giant, the pyramids tell a story of a civilization reaching for eternity and, in the process, creating something that would astound the world forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back to ancient Egypt. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the pyramids. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure into the past. Let me know in the comments which ancient wonder you'd like to explore next. Until then, stay curious.